Since the declassification of the ground-penetrating radar, the most staggering data has emerged of complex underground systems in various parts of the world. At places like Guatemala in South America, tunnels have been mapped under the Mayan pyramid complex in Tikal, which extends a full 800 kilometers to the opposite side of the country. Investigators remarked that it was now possible to understand how 500,000 Mayan Indians escaped the decimation of their culture. In similar fashion, the SIRA radar was deployed in Egypt as early as 1978, mapping an extraordinary subterranean complex beneath the Egyptian pyramids. Arrangements made with President Sadat of Egypt resulted in 3 decades of top-secret excavations to penetrate the system. There are speculations about a hidden chamber under the left paw of the Sphinx, leading to the legendary City of the Gods, lay sprawled beneath. A vast megalithic metropolis, 15,000 years old, reaching several levels below the Giza Plateau, complete with hydraulic underground waterways. Is it possible that the main purpose why the Giza Plateau was built was to protect them from the flood? Would you believe that this is Noah's Ark? Does the Giza Plateau really have an enormous underground city? We already know the flood happened, so maybe it is possible that underneath the plateau was where the survivors lived until the water settled. Just after the deluge, at the dawn of the present time cycle, an era the Egyptians called Zeptepi, the first times, appeared a mysterious group of gods to initiate the survivors in the rudiments of civilization. From Thoth and Osiris in Egypt to Quetzalcoatl and Viracocha in the Americas, traditions worldwide subscribe to the origins of contemporary civilization to this sophisticated group. The enigmatic gods of ancient Sumer, Egypt, and India all hail from the fabulous times before the flood. It is a legacy of civilization and technology way beyond our own. Technology capable of creating a vast underground city, of which the Sphinx and pyramids are merely surface markers. It is very possible that they use this underground city, located underneath the Sphinx and pyramids, to avoid the flood. Scientist Dr. Hurtake described it as the discovery of the fourth root culture, or root race, the Atlantean civilization destroyed by the last Earth cataclysm. It presents unequivocal evidence that all languages, cultures, and religions trace back to one single common source, which Dr. Hurtake refers to as the parent civilization. The technology on Earth is way beyond machine technology as we know it. As Arthur C. Clarke once joked, any technology beyond our own would seem like magic to us. According to Dr. Hurtake, this was a culture who cracked the genetic code and possessed the keys of the physical spectrum, the higher light physics of the ancients. Gilgamesh went searching for this in his famous trek to the lost city of the gods to search the tunnels beneath Mount Mashu in the desert lands. Hurtake refers to a language of light and a great priest-scientist of the previous time cycle named Enoch, who is associated with the building of the Great Pyramid Complex. Hurtake alludes to a grand spiritual science, a science which describes a genetic stairway to the stars. The priest-scientist Enoch is a pre-Diluvian patriarch, one of the most famous characters of the previous time cycle. Father of Methuselah and great-grandfather of Noah, Enoch is credited in the Bible as the architect of the original Zion, the legendary city of Yahweh, as well as the inventor of the alphabet and calendar. Enoch was shown by the Lord the secrets of earth and heaven. He returns to earth with the weights and measures for all humankind. Some believe that Enoch was the same figure as Thoth and Hermes, known to the Egyptians as Thoth, the lord of magic and time, and to the Greeks as Hermes, messenger of the gods. He is even remembered in the Celtic tradition as the enigmatic wizard Merlin, who disappears up an apple tree to mythic Avalon, seeking the secret of immortality and vowing to return. As one who attained immortality, the secret of how we might become as gods, Thoth or Enoch promises to return at the end of time with the keys to the gates of the sacred land. In the controversial Dead Sea Scrolls, revealing the lost books of Enoch removed from the Bible by early religious leaders, Enoch describes a wonderful civilization in the past who misused the keys of higher knowledge and were unable to save themselves from the last cataclysm. They lost the keys and lost all higher knowledge. Yet Enoch, along with many traditions, even the Mayan legend of Quetzalcoatl, promises the return of this knowledge at the end of time, the end of the present time cycle. Many of us can remember that the Mayan calendar date of 12/21/2012 that many thought would be the end of the world. That date has already passed, and nothing seemed to have happened at all. But what if this was actually the beginning of the real 7-year tribulation? 12/21/2012 plus 7 years is 12/21/2019. That's this December of this year. Many of us, including myself, had our awakening on 2012. In Revelation, Christ's return and rapture will not occur until the 7 years of tribulation have ended. Biblical revelations promise all will be revealed at the end of the present world. The extraordinary discoveries in Egypt and other parts of the world describe not just an advanced technology, but an evolutionary path beyond our present state. Careful scientific examination of the world's key pyramid sites revealed them to be sophisticated harmonic structures, not only mirroring positions of the planets and stellar systems, but designed to mimic the chakras and harmonic cavities of the human body. Even each stone within the Great Pyramid is harmonically tuned to a specific frequency or musical tone. The sarcophagus in the center of the Great Pyramid is tuned to the frequency of the human heartbeat. Astonishing experiments conducted by Dr. Hertake and colleagues at the Great Pyramid and other sites in the South Americas demonstrate the pyramids to be voice-activated geophysical computers. Intoning specific ancient sounds, the scientific team produced visible standing waves of light above and within the pyramids and were even able to penetrate inaccessible chambers. Subsequent discoveries indicate the ancient priest-scientists employed some sort of harmonic sound technology within the temple structures. The lost Enochian knowledge reveals the mother tongue as a language of light. Known to the ancients as Hebrew, it is the primal seed language introduced at the beginning of this time cycle. Modern research confirms the most ancient form of Hebrew to be a natural language, the alphabetic forms emerging from the phosphine flare patterns of the brain. It is a true language of light, coursing through our very nervous system. Encoding the natural waveform geometries of the physical world, Hebrew is a harmonic language, mimicking the waveform properties of light. The keys that Enoch speaks of turn out to be sound keys, keys to be a vibratory matrix of reality itself, the mythic power of the world. The Enochian knowledge describes sonic equations encoded within the ancient mantras of god names, capable of directly affecting the nervous system and producing profound effect of healing in higher consciousness states. As the ancient texts say, if you would speak with the gods, you must first learn the language of the gods. The ancient Kabbalistic tree of life, portrayed in the biblical Torah, is now coming to be viewed as a live vibrating structure rather than a fixed tape recording. Many modern scientists regard DNA as a shimmering waveform configuration able to be modified by light, radiation, magnetic fields, or sonic pulses. The legacy of Thoth or Enoch suggests this language of light, the harmonic science of the ancients, could actually affect DNA. The evidence in Egypt indicates this was the grand 6,000-year genetic experiment attempted by the Egyptians, the quest for immortality and the stars. A quest described by the great ones of old. A quest initiated by Gilgamesh a very long time ago. The Egyptians were not fixated on the afterlife, as thought by early Christian translators, but focused on creating a higher type of human. Along with many ancient cultures, they believed DNA came from the stars and was destined to return. The knowledge of Thoth or Enoch implies humans are meant to evolve beyond our present terrestrial form, just as the Bible tells us, we may become greater than angels. Could it be possible, as the ancient texts insist, we are destined to become as gods? Are the Mayan, lords of light, the Egyptian and Tibetan shining ones, really a higher form of human? According to many Earth legends, such beings are supposed to return regularly at the beginning and end of each time cycle. The 13,000-year half-point of our solar system's 26,000-year zodiac orbit around the galaxy center. These 13,000-year intervals seem to be separated by cataclysm upheaval. According to the calendar in stone of the Great Pyramid, which describes the so-called Phoenix cycle of our galactic orbit, the present time period ends, converted to our present calendar, in the year 2012. We obviously know that date is past, and then we have speculation that the 7-year tribulation will end around December 21st, 2019. The Greek word Phoenix is derived from the Egyptian word Pa-Hanak, actually means the house of Enoch. The Enochian knowledge suggests these regular cataclysm changes act as an evolutionary agent provocateur to quicken the resident life forms to the next evolutionary phase prior to exodus from the womb of the planet. Human evolution may proceed more rapidly than previously thought. The evidence now appearing record civilizations before us who mastered the physical continuum and progressed beyond this world. There were also those who failed. We too have equal opportunity to make it or break it. The whole universe is summed up in the human being. Devil is not a monster to trap us. He is a voice inside. Look for the devil in yourself, not in others. Don't forget that the one who knows his devil knows his God.